All right, boys and girls, the problem of the day is on the board. It's okay.
There's still like 4 minutes.
No, we're starting.
No, it's your mom.
You may use a calculator if you would like. Must have correct units as well. Yeah, you got 1 minute left. Nope, keep it as decimal. It should only go to decimal places. It's just sticking out on the top. Yep, that's fine. You get it, Reyes? You should know what shapes those are. Triangles, there you go. What's the area of a triangle again? Abby Perry. Area of a triangle. How do you find it? Base times height, then what? Richard. Divided by 2. Because remember, 2 triangles make a rectangle. No. Base times height divided by 2. It's a good question. What would be that height?
What would be that?
I already said you could.
I
Already said you could.
know, I'm just thinking.
Okay.
No, we have to. I don't even know if I would talk to
Okay, here we go. Alright. Someone tell me, someone want to help and solve this problem. Or at least maybe solve the first step. One person here, huh? 2 people? 3? Boy, awfully loud for only 3 people knowing how to do this. Ouch. And you should be more than capable of solving this problem. This problem actually for you guys right now, you should be able to solve this problem in like a minute or 2. Like this should be like simple stuff. Okay? Because all that is 2 what shapes put together? Triangles. You should be able to find the area of a triangle. So Alex, you want to go up and start it? Try it? No? And you know me, most of those numbers up there you probably don't even have to use. I just put them all up there to see if you know how to find it. Or to confuse you. Or to really see if you really know what you're doing. Still figuring it out, Alex? Oh, that'd be better. Oh, there's Bella.
No one told me we had math today.
Sorry.
We have math today.
And then I'll explain the schedule for tomorrow after we go over this problem. So, Elijah.
First step.
Yeah.
68.
168. 268. No. Find the area of a triangle. We need to know the base and the what? What's the base? 18. If 18 is the base, what's the height going to be?
3, 2.
What's the height going to be? Emily? Feet of a triangle. Very good. Now, how did she get 117.42? Because that number's not even up there. How did she get 117.42, Ashton? By 2, right? Because that is the length of the whole thing, and obviously one of the triangles is only half of it, so you have to divide it by 2. Very good. So the length of just this one, from here to the point, is 100. What did you say? 17 point what? 42. Okay. So that is the height. Here's the base. Here's the height. What can we do now? We know all the important stuff. Question.
That's a height that lies 2, 3, 4.8.
Because that's going the whole thing.
Wait. Oh, that doesn't even help. Wait, that makes sense because isn't the side isn't that longer than 2, 3, 4? Like so that would have been nice to see. Across should be longer than.
Maybe not. I know these are on a scale. So that we know the base, we know the height. Richard, what can we do with those 2 numbers? Add them? Is that what you said? Not add them. Want to take a second chance? Not divide. Multiply those together. You should have did 117.42 times 18. When you do that math, you should get what? calculate that out. Remember I said you could use a calculator.
What?
So as you see, everyone's hands up right now because everyone should have at least a Chromebook that they can calculate this on. It's not take much effort to type a couple buttons on a calculator or a Chromebook. Alright, let's go with Mr. Just kidding.
Is that?
Mr. Elliott Soda. 5, 6. Very good. Now, that would be if this was a rectangle, right?
Yep.
But really it's a triangle, so what should I do with that?
Times it by 2.
Times it by 2. But are these two triangles the same?
Yeah. No?
So if I divide it by 2, why don't I just have to times it by 2 again because I have 2 of them?
Yes, times it by 4.
So this is actually your answer in inches squared.
Oh, okay.
Now you could divide that by 2, right? Because each one's that, but then you'd have to add them together or still multiply by 2. So you get the same answer. So it should have been 2,113.56 inches squared, or square inches. Yes, you could have done that because this would actually be half of the full rectangle. Oh, so then we're not done yet. That's not the answer. Good call, Maddie. So it says each can covers 850 square feet. So what's the next step of this problem then? I didn't even notice that. Good call. Maddie? Very good. So really, you can divide by that or count up by 850, right? So if you have 850 plus 850, that's how much already? 16, 17, 1,700. So obviously we need more than 2.
3.
But can you buy?
It's 3.
No, I can't buy half a can. So how many cans do you have to buy? 3. So I guess the actual answer to this problem is 3 cans of paint. Okay, 3 cans of paint.
How did you paint a wall like that?
Maybe it's just a design on the wall.
Yeah.
You're not painting the whole wall that shape. Okay. Here's what we're gonna do. We're going to first go over some of the practice problems. Okay. So all you should have this done. For A, for this question here, all you had to do, you were given like a story and you had to draw, you didn't have to draw the graph, all you had to do is draw what the line would look like. So the first one says Jack rode his bike and then got a flat tire, so he had to fix it. Then he had to go as fast as he could for the rest of his trip until he reached home. Can someone come draw what that line would look like? And you can just come draw it here, we can do each one in a different color. What should that line look like? Go for it. So your line has to show that he rode his bike, got a flat tire, so he had to fix it, and then he had to bike really fast the rest of the way. What do you erase? Yeah, right.
Next one.
This one?
Yeah.
Yep. So again, I'm just looking for the general shape of the graph, the general shape of the line. Everyone should look somewhat similar. Very good. It should, and you didn't have to draw it that small. But yes, it should go up, go flat, because that's showing that he had to fix his tire, and then it should be steeper the second part. Next one. Bobby was watching his stocks. His stocks started at 400, lost 50 bucks, then stayed still for about another hour until it gained 120 for the day. So you should know that one started at 400. Okay, Jared, you want to try that one? Emily, you got the next one? After I read it. So this one. Oh, good call. That's okay. I didn't even know it was Jacob. Okay. Okay, good. This one was really tricky though, because this one shouldn't start at 0. It should start up here because it starts at 400. Okay, and then obviously it should go up. Oh no, it went down, didn't it? He lost money. No, it says he lost 50 bucks first. So you should have went down. You should have had a flat part because it did say it stayed at $50 for about an hour, and then it increased to above what he started at, because it increased $120, which means if he lost 50, went up 120, he was higher than what he started at. Next one, Jacob increased the price of his sandwiches at a restaurant. His profit falls drastically. So basically, as his price went up, his profits went down. Kind of like one of the problems of the day yesterday when we had profits and price. Okay. Just do it underneath it. You can write bigger than. Okay.
Profits. So the profits, the price.
Yep. So she's saying, if this was on a grid, right, this would be the price, and this would be the profit over here, right? Kind of like the one yesterday we did for problem of the day. Very good. Last one, Jill had to walk to school to meet some friends. She started at her house, walked at a steady pace until she stopped for ice cream. Okay, that's kind of the first thing. Second thing, after she ate her ice cream for about 10 minutes, she then walked quickly until she realized she forgot her wallet at the ice cream shop and had to go back and get it. She then had to sprint to meet her friends at school. Okay? So if you think about this, you could have this point being her home, and this point over here being school, and she did stuff in between there, right? So Alex Perry, come on up. Graph just the first part first. So show her that she walked at a steady rate until she reached the ice cream shop. And I'll ask one of you fifth graders, see if you know what if you have a steady rate, what's your line going to look like for your graph? Does anyone know? The fifth grader? How would you describe that line? Yeah, perfectly straight, right? Yep. Okay, so after she got the ice cream shop, what did she do at the ice cream shop? Did she keep on walking or did she stop for a little bit?
She stopped.
Okay, so you guys showed that she stopped.
Like that?
No, we talked yesterday. If it stops, what happens with the line? It's flat. Very good. It should be flat. Okay. Where's the flat? Where's the part she stopped? Remember, it should be flat.
Oh.
It's showing that you did not move. Yeah, you're flat. That's why it's called a flat line in the ER. Because the line is flat. You're dying. Okay, good. Now, Perry, what happened next? After she ate her ice cream for 10 minutes, she did what? Yeah, she walked quickly, right? So your line should be a little bit steeper. Stop. What happened then? She realized something. So what did she have to do?
Go all the way back.
Not all the way back, just back to the what? Ice cream shop. So you gotta go back down to where the ice cream shop. No, not that way.
That goes down.
Yep, you should come back down to the ice cream shop. Right there. Stop. Now, she ran towards the school, so that should be very steep. And it is. Perfect. That's what it should look like. Here, she walked to the ice cream shop, had her ice cream, went, realized forgot her wallet, had to go back, and then sprinted to meet her friends in time. That's what you should have had. And tomorrow you're going to practice these more. Okay. Oh, and by the way, about tomorrow, here's the schedule. Tomorrow you're gonna have every core class.
Oh,
They're only gonna be a half hour.
What?
Okay. 30-minute classes. So fifth graders, you can come tomorrow.
We can't. We have the heritage fair.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. Then just, right. Either way.
I
Miss
want
Robert,
to come
okay.
out like my teacher.
Huh?
Yeah, we'll come just
So next one. Okay. Here you had to write a story or a sentence for the graph. So here is this one. Okay. And notice I wanted you to notice their label on the X and the Y. Here's grade level. Here's math score. Someone tell me a little story for that. Okay. Bailey, go ahead.
At first, the math score was low about 37 days, not exactly the same. move down a little bit.
Okay. I didn't hear you say any of the words grade level in there.
Can I try, but I don't know.
Because if you did not use the X, if you did not say grade level, and if you did not say math score, I marked that wrong.
Yes.
Because those were the two variables you had. Okay? Anyone? So, Josie, you want to try it? You were
So,
yesterday.
In 7th grade, the math score went up by a little, and then in 8th grade, it went up by 4, and then in 9th grade, it dropped, and in 10th grade, it went up by a little, and 11th grade.
You guys make this so much harder than it has to be.
What?
You could literally sum this up as, in general, as you go up in grade levels, what happens to your score?
It goes up.
It goes up. That's all you had to say. As you move up in your grade level, the math scores generally go up. Simple as that.
I'm not very good at this.
Thanks for overcomplicating.
Okay? Yeah, you guys did. Next one. Your two variables for this one are age and height. Okay? So who can give me a story for age and height?
I know. You really this time.
Okay? And again, it can be as simple as what I do over here. As your grade level goes up, your math score goes up. Simple as that. Okay? Don't overthink it. Ashton, what do you got? Very good. The older you get, the taller you get. Okay? Until when? It looks like here it's starting to what?
You stop because you're
Stop.
already old enough.
And then eventually, I'm sure if you kept this graph going for age, you can shrink just a little bit.
You wouldn't shrink. You just get
Hunched over?
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay. Next one. This is dealing with time and number of people. And this is dealing with this. It says people in a store. So this is dealing with the people in a store. So who can give me a little sentence or story for this one? Sure, Olivia, you can go ahead. When do you think the store opened up? I heard like 5 numbers there. Which one is it? 10 o'clock. When did the store close? Okay. There's 2 pieces of information you probably should have had in your story. Opened up at 10, closed at 6. What else? And you didn't have to necessarily say that there were 2 people in the store when it opened. You could have if you want to get that technical. Kylie?
So it was the most busy at 1 p.m.
Very good. So you could have said the store opened up at 10 with few people, and then at 1 o'clock it hit its peak. You could have said the numbers if you wanted to. And then it gradually decreased until it may closed at 6 o'clock.
The store wasn't really packed. There were only 22 games.
So tomorrow you're going to be practicing these for the whole half hour. You're going to have to make your own and trade with someone and try and figure out what they wrote. Last one. This one's actually kind of interesting because there's 2 lines on the same graph. The blue line is, I know I kind of cut the words off,
W.
it's what they worked. The purple, the
Days.
fuchsia, pink line, whatever you want to call it, is that did not work.
Oh.
Yep. So at the bottom is age, and the other one is number of students. So it's basically the number of students who worked and the number of students who did not work. So my question is this: what happened as people got older? Raven? They started working. So that's why the blue line goes up and the pink line goes down. Does that make sense that they're almost opposites? Because one is working, one is not working, so they should be directly related, opposite. Okay? So that one should have been as simple as the older someone got, the more they started to work. Okay? Pretty simple. Alright? Now, here's what you're doing today. Today, you're not really going to have to be worried about making graphs and stuff like that. You're going to have to make a table again. Okay? But today they're talking about average speed, and I'm not going to spend a lot of time on it because we've done average speed in here. You should be able to find the average of something. Okay? For example, in this one, they took 5 hours to go how far?
45.
Okay? How would you find the average speed for that trip? You know how long it took them, you know how far they went. How would you find the average speed? It's like finding the unit rate almost, per hour. Think of it as finding the unit rate per hour.
Oh, I know.
One person? Just Emily?
I think I might.
You guys really don't remember how to find unit rate? Per hour? That's all we're doing. Average is like finding a unit rate. How much it is per something. In this case, it's per hour. Riley, what do you got? How'd you find what their average speed was?
I divided.
What by what?
I divided the distance by the hours.
You should have do the distance divided by the hours.
Oh, wait.
So you should have done 45 divided by 5, which ends up being
Oh my God.
9. So their average speed was 9 miles per hour for this one. You're gonna have to do that same thing today. Okay, so if you did not know to find average speed, I maybe put that example and put it in your notes. And you're gonna have to do it here in a matter of a couple minutes. So you would take your total distance divided by however long it took you. It's just like finding unit rate or unit price. We did that last book. When I told you how much something costed and how many pounds you got, you had to find the unit price. Same exact thing, just dealing with miles per hour now. Okay? So all your problem is based on this graph that they give you. Okay? And you'll notice this graph has the dots, they got the perfect scale, and you're gonna have to make a table based on this graph first of all. So what are your two variables for your table that you're gonna have? One of your things in your table should be labeled what, Jacob? Time. And your other one should probably be labeled what?
Miles.
Miles or distance, right? Those are your two variables that you just gotta fill in the table. So it should actually just look like these. So you got time, distance. Your first time should probably be what? Your first distance should probably be what? 0. And then you just go on from there. Okay? Good question. Do I have to kind of make these ones up, right, that aren't aligned?
Yeah.
Yes, you're kind of going to have to, it should make sense. Obviously, this one's going to be less than 25, right, because it's towards the bottom, so maybe like 10. Yeah.
Number 2 is
If it's not perfectly on a line, you will have to kind of guesstimate what it's going to be. Estimate, guesstimate. Okay, so here's the thing. Jacob was correct. Time and distance are going to be your two values in your table. You have to make the table first. Right, and there's some questions. And don't overthink these. It says, what does the point 325 tell you? Don't overthink it, okay? Literally, that tells you the 3 is the what again? Do you remember? Hours. This is what? Miles. So that's how far they went in how many hours.
3.
So in 3 hours they went 25 miles. That's exactly what they're asking you. That's what the point means. The point means in 3 hours they went 25 miles.
8 hours and remainder of some.
Shouldn't have remainders. Maybe if you find average speed, there might be.
Oh, that's not what we're doing.
And then here it'll ask you for average speed. And there's some more questions right there. Okay.
I don't know.
So, you guys, this is to work on today. There's an AB. There actually is a C down here, real short, there's only 2 questions. Okay. And make sure you read this carefully because it talks about them getting in a car again, kind of like the problem yesterday. For those of you who were here and not skipping.
We did.
Good
We
for you.
were testing. We do math.
Sure.
Yeah, we had it literally like all day.
Your graph is on page 18. All the questions are on page 19. So you're going to have to look at both pages in order to solve it. Okay? So it starts on page 18. Emily, question. Question 1, go ahead. Actually, yes. So if you read through all these, it'll tell you actually 2 more. Sure, we go out to different burgers. We haven't done that for a while.
And then what?
Okay, you're trying choices, opposite gender or by yourself. Hey, by yourself. You wanna borrow mine? Actually, take bus, no one do the research until they have the table done.
Okay.
Sure. Okay, I'll take one of those and copy them. So, hey, I'm waiting to get the answer. So I can copy it.
Okay.
This is all out for everybody.
I'm only giving about 20 minutes, that's it. No, I only get 20 minutes. Then I'm getting down to 10 left. Ashton, let's go. And no one can go to the resource room until they have the table done, so don't even ask. No one can go to the resource room until they have the table. No, they have the graph, you gotta make a table. And again, I don't care if the table goes vertical or horizontal, it doesn't matter which way.
Mr. Since you mentioned this right so far, you have to come all the way over here.
Number one, you mean, or the first one? That one can't be 10, that's 0, 0. That could be 10. You don't have to put that. Well, you gotta label it first, right? Time and distance. And then, yeah, one will be 0, 0. Then you'll have to go up. Actually, 12. You got 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, all the way to 11. That's 12 spots. Mason, where's your notebook? Let's go.
Is this right?
No, you want the
What is it in lead? And that even goes here.
Okay, so let me do the bathroom.
So, yeah, it's just, if you want to go to keep answering the questions. Go ahead, Nate. You continue your table. FYI, if your table's too long to fit all the way across your paper, you can go and then continue it right beneath it. There's nothing wrong with that.
Mr. Sitchin, I have a question.
You have a question?
Yeah.
Remember, you need to see both pages.
Oh, it's wow.
Time distance, and then this is time zone. 3 hours and 25 minutes.
Maybe they're biking into the wind the whole time, or uphill. You don't know. Not everyone's an animal like you. That should go in my book of poems. That should go in my book of poems. You're an animal. No, I'm not. I'm a manatee. That should go in my book of poems. Yes, it is. What is it?
It's a sea cow. You don't know what a manatee is?
Just go on there, Brett.
Just search for them on the I already know. I never get over the guy who died.
These are funny.
Manatee and
Yeah, they're pretty close. I'd go with that. I could have stopped for a break or something. Yeah, they're pretty close. Question?
Yes, question.
You can say four. Mason, you can't answer this if your notebook's not open.
So what do we have to do?
I have another question. I just want to know.
I have one question.
That would be easier, but whatever. So, it's asking you how these points know how you time speed during that hour. So between hour 9 and hour 10, time your speed. In that 1 hour, how between hour 9 and hour 10, how much is speed?
Times. We have to tell that. Then you have to multiply by 25. And then
You know where
25.
you started, you know where you're at, how many miles went that hour. That's your speed, that's all I'm saying. You don't have to graph it. You have to graph it. What are you doing? What? I talked about that, remember that 20 hours, you just 3 hours and 25 miles. You don't have to make graph it or anything. That's it. It's like when it takes you 3 hours. What's that? Pretty legit.
Yeah, I know. That's what I say. But if it's what you are,
At 11,
yeah, that'd be
pretty sure you're way higher than 75. And some of these other ones are a little small. Look at 10. That's just above 10. Above 100.
I remember
8 fellows.
2 fellas who would do like. I told you I was good at guessing. On 9 and 60, I was right.
You gotta do this first. Say 8. I said, all these questions are based on what you did.
This table. So I'll
The
use it.
graph on page 18. You gotta take this and make a table for it.
So then you go on the next question.
That was pretty legit. Like possible.
Yeah, I know. Can I go to dollar? What?
Okay.
For A3, you have to find the number you got divided.
Yeah, you're finding the average speed.
But how? Which one? Here we go.
Four. These two? So those 2 points help you be able to find their speed. Between hour 9 and hour 10 minutes an hour. How are those points help you find the speed?
You do just divide by time.
After this, because you have 2 points. Between hour 9 and hour 10.
Oh, so you don't actually have to tell me which one.
No, they already.
Oh, so you actually don't have to tell them. Oh, that's what we had a question about, like in our.
All I'm curious is how are you gonna use those to find the speed during that hour?
I don't know how to do that either.
Not so much, because look at number 11. It's only about 150. Well, it's not going to go up the same every time, because remember, if it went up the same every time, this would be in a straight line. But they're not in a straight line. They kind of come up, stop, and go up a little bit more. You can't just go up the same every time. Okay, your table book? Your last one.
Wait, we have to do this
That looks
whole
better. Wait, is that 50? Is it, what's that say, 50? Oh, so like 60 pretty much? Okay. There we keep going. How much you can get done? Boys. No. Here's what you got. They tell you 2 points, right? 9 something and 10 something. Whatever they were. Okay. Here's what it's asking. They give you those 2 points. That's an hour difference, right? So that's an hour difference. How can you use those 2 points to find your speed for that hour?
Oh, what did they tell you?
What are the 2 miles, 60 and what?
Even though that's day 9? I mean,
Correct.
I got that.
110 minus 60.
Time is 9 hours. Okay. It's 15. And time is 9, it's 60, and speed is 60.
Based on your grade and your table. When did you put the spikes on the trailer and begin riding in the van? How'd you know that?
It's 10:05 to 11:15. They went so far.
Hour 9.
Our teacher has.
9 hours.
Oh, that's
Okay. So, the difference between 0 Question, Ken?
Yes, I have a very important question. So
Quattro.
we're supposed to make up a story.
No, it's just asking you to look at the graph. Because they wrote it as a bike and then they got in the car, right?
I'm
So
still
how can you
stuck.
tell in the graph when they were biking and when they got in the car? And how can you tell where they got in the car?
Mr. Cincinnati, stop.
Well, what hour did they get in the car? Hour 0?
What?
Hour what?
I'm telling you the place.
Hour. Remember, you're going in a car, you should be going very fast. It should be very steep. So what hour do you think they got in the car?
Oh, that's
Hour 9.
Mr.
Here it all of a sudden goes.
Hey, but how do you want me?
So here's what they got in the car. Because you can tell that because they jump. Here you can tell they're in the pipe as well, pretty steady. That's
The answer is
what I'm
15.
telling you.
The answer is 15.
Remember, I talked about this one already. This point means that in 3 hours, how far did they go? 25 miles. So all your point speed is, in that many hours, they went however many miles. That's all the person's gonna ask. Or the difference in travel speed.
We're not looking together. Look at your paper.
So what are you gonna do for the van? How many hours were they in the van? You don't count the 9. Remember, it's between these. 9 to 10 is 1. 10 to 11 is 2. Okay, so how many miles did they travel in the van? Where did they start at for 6 or 9? Okay, and ended up at what? So how many miles did they travel? So you should be able to run the speed of the van. 2. What's my name? What's going on?
Not looking.
Why though?
David's pretty.
Good, keep going. Well, how can you? Yeah, this. You told me when you knew they got in the van, man. How do you know that? Or when they go faster.
So for Avery, to use the top because the engine comes out like
Those
this.
look so much better.
Wait, how many miles is the train? So I'm just gonna
That's cool
say.
right now, really. I'm gonna give you 5 more minutes.
Steve,
Actually, I got right back.
You only have 8 words.
there, how about me?
Monkey one.
This could be anything.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
It means this is constant, which means they get with the same every hour. Which means if it says constant, you're just finding the what? Average speed.
Yeah, but how many miles is the trail?
Does it say how many miles you travel?
8 hours. They put their bikes in a trailer? Yep. They how
Because
many
this whole
miles
graph is dealing with that.
they
So how far was it from the start to the end?
11 hours.
No, miles, directly in hours, because he did it in 8.
I found 150 miles.
Is that the answer?
So they went that far, but it took them 8 hours. So now you gotta figure out speed.
Oh,
150 divided by 8.
There you go.
yeah, that's what I just said. I said it in my head.
Wait, so which question is this?
That was the
D.
Josie, you started the table before you go to.
Wait, you mean C? It is D.
You know how to make a table. We've been doing that all week.
What? What do you not get?
What's that say? Something
How the line goes up on the ground. Slowly up, straight. No, it goes 64 miles an hour, is that right? It said it was very steady, so it's a straight line. Straight.
You sure they got in the van at hour 10?
Alright, that's steady.
Hour 9? Now it's gonna mess up your whole beat.
divided by 8.
I
Is that right? 8. 16 divided by 8.
I wonder what 150
Because now it's going to
divided
change
by
all
8
these.
is.
Because in B2, what's the average speed for the
Oh,
bike?
62 divided by 80 for
Wait,
B2.
where'd the 60 and the 4
62
come
divided by
from?
80 for B2.
Where'd the 60 and the 4 come from?
Oh, no, 6
Where's
divided
the
by 80.
60 and the 9? Oh, okay. B3, how'd you get 13?
Oh, yeah.
No, it's not. Because this one's only asking just the van. The van was only the last 2 hours.
I had different numbers. I got 6.
This is the whole, this is the whole trip. I want to know how fast they went just the van.
Okay.
But that's not the answer. That's them biking and the van. I want just the van. You need to figure it out. Just the van.
I don't know. I don't care.
Homework's posted. We're ready to get started. Actually, you can go get people from the research.
Wait, we have homework today? I didn't. I haven't done any homework. I didn't have homework. I already did all of it.
We have homework.
I didn't
She's on
play.
top of it.
I signed up for yesterday. I don't do
You're hanging out after
Thursdays.
school?
I do. I did all my homework.
Tomorrow.
I only do for my grandpa and grandma.
Since when?
Yeah, they.
You didn't have homework on our test in case it balances out.
Yeah,
Alright. 3, 2,
No! I just got.
1. Okay, here we go. Now, I don't really care what you had numbers for your table, as long as they made sense. How did that happen? I picked up the calculator and the calculator went whoosh all the way across the room. Interesting. Okay. So I'm not going to go over the table, especially because some people are still working on it. But everyone's I've seen, the numbers have made sense. Okay? All you should have actually the same starting point. Okay? For sure. And then ending point should be fairly close. They ended right around 150, right? 148, 150,
149.
149, something like that. Okay? Here's the thing. Okay? 2 of the points people kept the same because it looked like they kind of were the same. It looked like they kind
I
of
did it.
stopped. You could have put one a little bit higher, but they should have been close to each other. Okay? Here's the real meat of the questions is down here, though. Especially B. B is very interesting. So I'm going to go back to the graph so you can see this quick. Okay? So here's the graph. And one of the questions was, at what hour did they get in a van? So what hour did they get in a van? Mason, what hour did they get in a van? And what hour?
9.
Okay, and how'd you know what hour 9 they got in the van?
Guys, it goes straight.
Or very steep, right? So very good. Here is when they got in a van. Okay? Which
How did
means
they go backwards?
which means all of this was biking, right? And then just this was van. So one of the questions was, first of all, what was your average speed for the trip?
Ooh, I got it.
So let's say, what did someone have for this
149.
point? What did someone have for that point? How many miles did you have roughly for it, Bella? Sure, we'll use 148. So what should you have done with 148, or if you use 149, or if you use 146? Throw the seats, well, hustle. Well, wait. Okay. Elijah, how do you find the
None of
average
them
speed?
has the average speed.
Shh. The overall average speed.
No, that's the average speed of the bike.
Hold on. I'm asking you the overall average, though. I don't care if it wasn't in there. The average speed for the whole trip.
Okay.
They went 148 miles in 11 hours. What was their average speed? How would you solve it? Elijah, what are you doing on your calculator? Tell us. Very good. Take that divided by 11, and you get an average speed of.
Blank.
So 13.4 is good enough for me for right now.
Oh, wait, I did do that, I guess.
So your average speed should have been roughly around 13.4, 13 and a half, somewhere in there, depending on what number you use for miles. Now, back to the question Josie was talking about. It asks you what was the average speed on the bike. Okay. So how many hours did they travel on this bicycle, Isabel? You guys were paying attention. How many hours did they spend on a bike? More than 8. Not 11. Richard? 9. Because technically they went from, you still got to include that 0 because that's the starting point. They went from 0 to 9. That's 9 hours, right?
I
That's
did this
right
wrong.
there.
You read it back.
Okay. So they spent 9 hours on a bike. I'll just label this bike for now. They spent 9 hours. How far did they travel in that 9 hours on the bike? Roughly. Because that one's kind of up to your interpretation again. You could have had what, Evan?
60.
That looks close to 60. Okay.
It says in the notebook.
Plus it says.
Yeah,
Okay. So, yeah, how am I going to find the average speed for being on the bike? How would I find the average speed for being on the bike? What by what? You got to be more specific than just say divide. 60 by 9. Very good. Which is? You have a Chromebook. Figure it out. 60 divided by 9 is 6.6 repeating. Okay.
I messed it up like 6 times.
That would get you a big number. Okay. One of your second questions now was, I'll do it up here, was what was the average speed of being in the car?
I didn't get to that.
So Levi, how long were they in this car?
2 hours.
2 hours. Because they went from 9 to 11. So they were in there 2 hours. And Riley, how far did they travel in that van or car? Well, we know this.
85 miles.
We know this was 60, right?
Yeah, 85 miles.
85, roughly.
Yeah.
Right. Depending on what you use for this one. So we'll use 85. We'll make it 86 just to make it easier for division purposes. Okay. So, Bailey, how would you find the average speed of the van?
86 divided by 2.
Which is
Which is
43.
43 miles per hour.
It's easy. What's even 80? Oh wait, thank you. That was the answer.
Okay. So here you can tell the average speed of the trip is 13.4. The one with the van is about 43, and on the bike was just about 6.5.
Yep.
Okay. Question. Questions first of all. I'm hoping someone asks a question. No. I hope someone's going to ask a certain question. If not, I guess I'll have to ask.
So fine. What is it?
Yeah.
Answer questions. Okay, I have a question.
Good question.
What is your question?
Okay, here's my question. My question is this. This was like the overall average right here, right?
Yeah.
So I'll star that. Could I use this number and this one down here to get that overall average?
Yeah.
If this was the average for the van and this was the average for the bike, could I average those and get that?
It probably be more tricky.
You think so?
No.
Try it. I don't actually know. Try it. Don't tell anyone when you calculate it. It's 43 and
No, I don't think you can't do it. Does it? No, it does.
okay. So first of all, in order to see if it worked, first step is you should have added these two together, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So you should have got about 49.5, 49.6, and then what should you have done with that number? Divided by 2, because there was 2 values. So it did not work, for those of you who did it, right? Because you got like 20 something,
Yeah.
and we should have been 13. So when you find overall average, you actually have to use the starting point, the ending point. You can't just find 2 averages and average those. It's going to get you a different answer, which is kind of tricky. Okay? No questions?
No questions.
5th graders and even 6th graders, remember tomorrow are half-hour classes. So
It even says
Is it in the same time?
No, it's gonna go first hour, fourth hour, and that's because Miss Panisi teaches 7th grade, so we had to line it up with them. So it's gonna go first hour, fourth hour, third, and then second. Well, and the special morning special in there too.
Ew, I don't want to go.
Too bad.
Wait, is
Homework tomorrow?
yeah, Friday.
Let's see how well you work tomorrow.
I want to know.
You do have homework tonight?
Is it like required?
The homework?
Yeah.
Yes.
Homework's not required.
Okay.
I do the homework we have for.
I should have just posted it, so it should be there now. And it is.
Okay.
And you have 3 minutes right now to work on it.
Oh, I thought we couldn't work on homework. Mister. 3 minutes, 8 Okay. That's for my homework. Are you gonna take it?
No, you're gonna hang on to it for graphs there. Raven, don't be playing the game.
Oh, Raven. Got busted. Oh, I'm playing the game. Wait, do we want this part of today? I hate this time. 9:30. Oh, it's 9:30. It's 9 over. I know.
Hey, I did not dismiss you. You guys got up a minute early, so I'm keeping you at least a minute later. That sucks. I'm not going to late past either. No, Mason, Richard, you're not sitting in your seat. You're not leaving this room yet. We're sitting Ashton and Alex and Ben. We're sitting Jacob. You're sitting. David, go. Raymond, Evan, go. Put your chairs in the place.
Maybe you put your chair in. Oh, yeah.
Isabel, go ahead.
Darn it.
Billy, go ahead. Callie, go ahead. Mason, Landon. Mason, go back and fix. Everyone else, go ahead. Mason, do not kick my chairs like that. And by the way, come here, please, quick. Did you have your homework done? Okay. Okay, then you're gonna be going today then.